Welcome to MakeTeamWork Lab, a safe space for all of us to meet and to grow as team leaders, team members, and better people, better human. For those of you who only joined us here today, we are Adam and Larissa. We are MakeTeamWork. We activate great culture in teams globally. So we coach leaders, we coach teams, we facilitate, we design the learning sessions, and we scale visual collaboration, agile design thinking, and teams, yes, globally. And speaking about visual collaboration, maybe today we will have another guest, Hailey from Mural, who will join us for the second part. Fortunately, she has some busy time at work. But yes, today is the last lab this year, and we are coming back next year with a new plan. So await news and join us in Luma community if you haven't already. We publish regularly and send all the news there. Okay, so let's just, before we start, a quick intro for all of you who will be working with Mural for the first time. I don't know, maybe thumbs up, or if you haven't worked with Mural yet, can we somehow see? Is somebody new to Mural? Yes, Heather? Okay.
Heather.
Heather.
No, I was saying, yes, I've worked with it before. I will make sticky jokes, sorry.
Is there
all good then?
Is there anybody who doesn't feel comfortable with Mural, with working in Mural? Do we see
it's going to be my first time.
So okay. So Fabiana, just a quick intro. So to create a post-it, you can just double click or take it from the left tab menu that Larissa is demonstrating right now, but you can also double click on in the board. It's much easier. If you want to start writing on existing post-its, just double click on the post-its. You will see if a post-it exists, just double click on it. And if you get lost somehow during the session, just press the Larissa star icon there, down there, and you will be following the plot again. It's really easy. Just give it a try and a little bit of time, and it should go smoothly. And
Let us know in case of need.
And last but not least, the resources. So subscribe to the newsletter. Also, we will share it with the Luma aftercare message, because these resources are really gold. Fantastic resources from Mural on collaboration and tips and tricks. Awesome. Good to go. Any questions on the stage? No, we can go. Yeah, okay. So today, a reflection day. And we would love to learn about you, about us, about priorities and needs for 2022. And we will continue with our open lab meetings in 2022 and beyond. And today we are asking you to create the lab in 2022, the program together with us, the topics, and how you would like us to act and what to design for in the next year. And we are building based on your feedback, for you, with you. We started this year with some beliefs. We met some of you also many times. We tested many things together, exchanged knowledge. And now it's the time to reflect. And I am quite a cliche guy, as you will see in a second. And I like to start with a quote of Merlin Ferguson, a writer, editor, and a public speaker from like, I think 70s, because I think she nailed it. She nailed with this quote, she nailed what reflection is and why we really want to reflect. And she said, if I continue to believe as I have always believed, I will continue to act as I have always acted. And if I continue to act as I have always acted, I will continue to get what I have always gotten. And we are super thankful for what we've gotten this year at MakeTeamWork, with all the opportunities and great teams and you guys. And we want to improve still, and we want to go forward. This is why today is the reflection time, and we would love to reflect with you. And saying this, maybe I will share the link to Mural, and I will invite you all to Mural, to join us in Mural right now. I'm sharing in chat in Zoom. Can you see it? All okay? Thumbs up, yeah? Awesome, fantastic. Join us in Mural. You should be redirected directly to the space from the share screen. that you see on the share screen also in Zoom, but you can stay in Mural and yes, and let's start the session. Larry, you wanna jump in?
Yes, I'll take it from here. Thank you. So today we want to create this space as a reflective space, as we have been doing throughout this year. But to warm up today and to get you started in Miro as well, we'd like to hear from you. Where are your reflective spaces? What are the moments or the situations that you create around you that allow you to reflect? So I invite you to double click, write it down, use the menu in the lateral, add images, what represents your reflective space. So we can have our visualization of what is the space for us. So we have outdoors, no? Green, cooking or eating. If you want to open your mics and share, what do you have in mind when you added the post-its? In the
I want to know who owns the boat. I'm going to make friends at the end of this.
It's good acting because we're friends, right?
I can say I know the guy.
So washing dishes, I love it. My yoga teacher would always said, keep your yogi vibe even when you're washing your dishes, no, like present. So living room, cozy, in the shower, productive in the kitchen, in the room or outdoor, journaling, biking. And do you usually reflect? What would you say that you're a reflective person?
Possibly too much reflecting. Sometimes it becomes a bit of a doorway, and once you go through it, it's like you welcome yourself into like a hall of mirrors, and it's just constant reflecting. But it's definitely, I definitely do it regularly in many forms, and the most conscious form is journaling. I think if it's like a shower or walk or doing chores, it's like as things come up, I make the time. When I do get the book out, that's when it's some hardcore self-reflecting time, and it's a lot more conscious and deliberate.
It's nice. One ritual that I don't have it as much as in the past, but I would record voice memos about what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, and then maybe after a while I'll look back at it and keep reflecting on the reflection, so you can for sure enter this process. And here we have a recommendation. Clara and the Sun reading. Very good. So our invitation today is for you to consider these peers, people that are here open to listen and to share. So let's make this a safe and also reflective space for today's session. That will be a big reflection, as you know by the name. We'll be reflecting, we'll be sharing, and as Adam mentioned, we'll be deciding what are the priorities that MakeTeamWork Lab should focus on for the next year. And here is our first invitation. We have new members today in the lab, and here you can see a list of all the events that we facilitated this year. So we started the year with feedback, so learn and train for better team dynamics. We did a lab on teamwork, how to focus on what your team needs, facilitation for better teamwork, retrospective for engagement, active listening for psychological safety, nonviolent communication, big train journey, intro to team culture design, where we presented the Lancioni model, a big reflection around agile and teamwork. We did what's the name of the bowl fish, right? Fish bowl. And then the series about the 5 dysfunctions of a team. Great teamwork needs trust, conflict, commitment, accountability, results. And today, we are reflecting and looking forward. So if you did join one of these events or many of these events, I will invite you to pick up one of these flags and move to the area for the event that you joined. And if you would like to refresh your mind a little bit, I will show you just visually a few of the events so you can navigate here and maybe remember the ones that you participated or not. We have a few screenshots. So use this as a reference if you would like to, and please put the flags around, and please share with us as well if it was useful somehow and how. We're trying to understand what's the value that we have been creating this year.
And apologies if it might feel a little bit overwhelming with these pictures and everything. We understand that if you are here for the first time, it might be a little bit overwhelming. And we just lived through all these events the entire year. And yeah, it's been so much. And it's time to reflect.
It is. So we have someone that joined active listening for psychological safety. Who was it? Would you like to share?
That was me. I was like jumping in between screens and trying to drag one that I'm looking at. So yeah, I was here for active listening for psychological safety. I think one of the things that was very useful about that, if I remember correctly, we were split into groups, and so there was an opportunity within that one to actually practice some active listening, and it was for myself quite interesting how deep people can get if they feel listened to. It was very informal, but people very quickly went into some very real corners of their lives and kind of suggested to me that there's possibly something that many of us might be quite starved of actually having an ear that genuinely is interested in what we have to say and isn't just a kind of a way of kind of like placating us, while the reality is they just want us to do something. So yeah, that was one of the things I remember quite well from that session.
Very good. So the space created and what happens in the space, right?
Yeah, and I guess imagining what work looks like if there were more of that, and yeah.
Thank you. Who joined Teamwork Needs Conflict? I can again.
I was also there for. Is this like Subway? Do I get like free? Do I collect 6 of these? But I was so. Also there for. I was also there for conflict. I'm trying to remember now what some of the key take. I think part of it is how we think about conflict. And if I remember correctly, it's and maybe this is probably more of a reflection in hindsight, but for me, conflict can often be a sign of interest. It's like how vested people are. So the idea of kind of like being quiet might be down to apathy, and maybe some individuals just don't really care if something goes horribly wrong. But the idea that people do seek a bit of conflict, not to say that it's always positive, but it could also be seen as a sign of, oh, this is how into this project someone is, which is enough to shout and flip a table over and swear, which is, if we could harness that in some sort of productive way, it'd be a valuable team member.
Definitely couldn't agree more.
Productive conflict is all we need, no?
Maybe not all, but definitely without it, there is neither high performance nor satisfaction, no? Because we always hold ourselves, we accumulate energies, we just block us, others, and then also export it outside, so to our families, friends, and so on. Yeah.
And the last one, it's conflict. Was Akin again?
Oh no, I think we just spoke about that one, right? We just spoke about
It's
conflict.
accountability.
We just talked about
It's
accountability. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Which one Barbara joined? Do you remember?
That was me, yes.
Okay.
Great teamworks need accountability. And one thing that I can say about that session was that I had participated in another session that very same day, and I left it and entered yours. And I had a couple of, I had enrolled in a couple of different ones, and I had to choose, and I chose this one, the one you guys were hosting. I was so accelerated and anxious and tense from the previous one. I hadn't even noticed it. And when I came into your facilitation session, I just felt so at ease, and I knew what was going on. All of my anxiety dissipated. It was so very well organized, very well thought out. I felt included, psychological safety just reigning everywhere. The participants, there were a couple participants that were a little bit more active, and you could totally see that they were enjoying themselves and sharing freely. So I learned more about, a facilitation session doesn't have to be rushed. You don't need to pack a lot of content into the time that you have. You can give people time to process things. You don't just need to move from one activity to the next. So I just really, really appreciated your style. And thank you for that. It was a lovely experience.
Thank you. So for all of you that did not join as well, when you look back at this calendar, what are the events that you wish you had joined, that are topics that somehow interest you, or that you might have been useful for this year? So please move the stars.
I have an agile iteration here. Maybe we can just all right now take all the stars and put them on the sessions that we would like to experience in 2022.
So use all the stars.
Use all the stars. Let's call all the stars and see what's the sentiment. But let's do 3 per person if possible. It's like not more, just to see the real sentiment with the method that seems to be working. Yeah.
To have results, accountability, conflict, culture design.
Well, good news. Hailey is joining us right now. Hello, Hailey. Can you hear us?
I can.
Hello, Hailey.
Hi, Adam. Hi, Larissa. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
So good you are with us. I hope everything is.
Yeah, everything's great. We were wrapping up our company all hands meeting for the year, so it's lovely to be part of a bunch of different sessions where we're reflecting and expressing gratitude. So very thankful.
For those of you who don't know Hailey is part of the mural team. We've known Hailey for I think 2 years. She's an amazing facilitator, amazing host, amazing leader of the community, and I personally can say that I've learned a lot from Hailey, especially on facilitation and a lot of bit beyond also about design. So thank you, Hailey, and thank you for being with us.
Thank you. It goes both ways. I learn from you guys all the time too. So I appreciate you inviting me to be part of this.
So we are now voting on the events that the participants today would like to have joined. And I just see that we had a design problem, no? Because the list was up there. And now like it seems like the first ones, they have many votes, but those stars were already there. So let's...
So guys, once again, maybe we just move the stars to post it. If you can ask one more time.
Oh, I will move the stars to the front. Look, the stars are in the back. So they were out there. Okay, so we have here. So we can see from here that teamwork for better facilitation is a big one. We have for voters, teamwork, how to focus on what team needs. Conflict, good topic. And these are the top. Very good. We'll have those in mind when planning next year. So now it's time for us to actually start reflecting as a group. And I'd like to invite Hailey to take us to this individual reflection.
Hailey, are you ready, or would you like to? Yeah.
I am ready.
Yay!
I'm ready. Let's do it. All right. Yeah. So we're going to take a moment as a team, as a community here to think about some of the learnings. Of course, there are things that we did well, there are highs and lows, and we want to think about what you want to take forward from this year and apply to learning next year. So first, you're going to start with thinking about what are your biggest lessons learned from 2021, reflecting on the projects you've done, the events and experiences you've had, the 3 biggest lessons you've learned. The second one is, how will you apply this learning? How will you bring this into 2022? And what kind of things will you be doing to apply those lessons? And the third will be, what teamwork challenges do you need to address in 2022? So for example, one of my biggest lessons learned from 2021 is that ambiguity is a constant part of work and change here, of course, as we've learned from, all the changes last year. And for me, it's about being able to adapt and seek out answers when there's ambiguity. And in terms of teamwork challenges, it's going to be about working cross-functionally and creating alignment when ambiguity strikes and is present. So take a moment, think about how you'll answer these questions. Grab an open space here in this area and add your name to the top section. So you'll double click where it says name, type your own name in, and then we'll give you guys a few minutes now to respond to these key questions. Yes, thank you, Larissa, for pointing those out, to respond to those questions. So how much time do we want to give the group here? Adam and Larissa.
6 minutes?
I
Okay.
intuitively think that like 5 minutes, yeah.
Okay, 5 minutes, okay. And yeah, those of you who are, as you're moving around the canvas to find a spot, if you don't, to prevent from accidentally moving one of these spaces, hold the space bar key down on your keyboard. And that way you can move without accidentally moving content. All right, and the timer has started.
Shall we do it in a private mode, or should we do it like an open? How do you see?
Yeah, let's do private mode. I love private mode because I just like the big reveal in a way. So private mode, for those of you who are maybe new to Mural, it means that your content, you'll be able to see your own content, but you won't see others' content as they're adding and making changes until private mode ends. So you get the chance to reflect and ponder these questions on your own.
This is a tough cookie for me, actually, to just get the free biggest lessons learned.
Yeah, you have to reflect on all the different things different projects, different events that happened during the year. I think is a good place to start.
I realized that the private mode is not friendly for who's sharing the screen, no? I'm doing
Now
my
I know
notes
it's
here.
private for you too. Yeah.
So less 45 seconds to wrap up.
All right. The cuckoo clock is a favorite. Great. Now let's end private mode. And you can keep working a little bit more if you're still adding, it's awesome. But private one will reveal everyone's responses. Awesome. Okay. And now we're going to shift over. Larissa, tell us a little about active listening. I know we're going to take these responses and go into the chance to kind of share and listen. So yeah, what is this all about?
Thank you. So this reflection we triggered is not only about you learning about yourself, but also the ability of sharing and understanding from the others. And we support a lot and we recommend a lot the use of active listening on day by day. And here's a moment also to experiment and to test. And what is to actively listen? Is to listen with your whole self. So we have this image that represents the philosophy behind active listening, and it represents many aspects of us as humans and our body, not only the body, but also the respect we should have for oneself and the other. So to listen to the whole self is to listen with the ears, but also with the eyes, to keep your attention being present, to listen with your heart, and also bring the aspect of the king in terms of the respect. So I give you my ears, my eyes, my respect, and my undivided attention, and my heart. So this is what we will invite you to do. And when you're sharing, you have two main roles. One of them is to be the subject, so the person that is sharing. The idea is here is to explore your reflection in the case from your personal perspective. What did you observe? What did you learn? And there are no right or wrong answers. The idea is to feel comfortable to share with those that will be with you. So allow the focus to be on you, bring your perspective, your reflection, your story. let it flow naturally. You don't have to have a structure in mind or follow exactly the questions that we have in the card. And allow yourself to be guided by the active listener that will be in a breakout room with you. And what's the role of the active listener? Is to listen with full present and focus. So that image that we just shared. So listen with the whole body, be curious, observe, and make open questions. The idea here is not to give your perspective, your suggestion, any recommendation. Is just to listen and allow the subject to go deeper in the reflection. So a few open questions that we might use in the breakout room when someone's sharing. So how do you feel about? What concerns you the most? What seems to be the problem? What do you mean? Tell me more about. Avoid the questions that would answer in a yes or no. So what's your plan? What are the benefits? We will have breakout rooms with, how many are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With 3 people. So one person will be the subject, the active listener, and then the observer.
We can actually, I think, do couples if everybody wants to participate.
Okay, that's easier.
It might
so
be easier.
use 2 minutes. 2 minutes to introduce yourself. Who are you? Where are you? What's your context? And then use 5 minutes per person to share your personal reflection. So look back at the cards. What happened this year for you? What are your teamwork needs for the next year? And let's share with each other. Are you up for that?
Yes.
Good. So yes, guys, so I'm gonna send you right now to rooms. Wait, maybe I will just 2, 4. Yes. You should have the invite already.
Yes. And Adam, should I
Yes, Hailey.
stay in this main room, or do you want me to join a breakout?
So wait a second. I will then, since we can stay actually, it was up to you. It actually, but welcome back.
It's like recording. So what is it to?
Let's all go on LinkedIn.
Welcome back.
Oh,
Thank you.
how was it?
Very lovely. Yeah.
Yes. We would like to invite you to maybe right now download what you learned about others, what other would like to learn, about what topics others would like to learn, and what sessions could be useful. So we have a place in the board. We would like to invite you to. You can follow.
True, Adam.
Yes. Are you?
Now the
Are we?
group is here.
Are we all?
Hello.
Are we all still in Mural, guys? So do you need the link?
No.
So wait a second. I will share the link.
I was worried because, just one group got back and I was like, oh my God, like maybe something happened in the second group. Everyone decided to leave, but then you all appeared. So that's it.
Yes, but I see it's coming for you who joined maybe a little bit after I started already saying, I don't know, maybe just join the board. Just join the board, follow Larissa, and just choose a place and download what you learned about others' needs, others' learning needs, and what sessions might be useful for them in 2022.
It's the time to show that you were actively listening.
Anybody on devices and needs help, you can just send a message if you want me to download your. I know, Matti, you were, I think, on the. Yes, so just send to me, please, and I will add if you want.
Sorry, guys, I'm so lost. I don't know if we'll be able to do it. I'm trying to understand.
So can you follow me? I'm summoning. We have this space in this area for you to double click in one of these post-its and share what you learned from the group that you were in. So you were, from what you heard from Akin, he wants to learn about a specific topic. If there's a session that could help him to learn about this topic and why it would help that person. So it's the chance for you to download what you learn so we can take it into consideration when planning the next year. And for you to edit the post-it, you double click on it.
Is it okay, or is the confusion still in the air? How does it feel now?
Fabian.
Yeah, it's making that who is confused. I don't know, I don't know where there is the questions for the person that I was talking to, or is it like randomly? I just need to check whatever.
Yes. Oh, sorry for this mean confusion. It sometimes happens.
No, it's because I'm new here, so I'm lost. It's normal for me.
No worries, no worries. I'm sure it's about my cows.
So for instance, I highlighted a pinky one here if you want to use it, or just choose one. Let's add, what, 1 more minute?
Wow. And how was it for you to actively listen, to speak about the learning needs? How did it feel? And yeah, was it comfortable? Did it take time to start trusting everybody in the room where you were, or how was it? I'm not sure. This is truly reflective mood.
I felt Akin was a really good listener, also asking very nice questions. And in our group, it was especially nice because we had Fabian, who is from sales, who loved to share also, as she shared that salespeople love to share. So yeah, it was interesting group and kind of liked it.
Is it useful? Will you take the learning?
Yes. Yeah, it was definitely a nice place. Even asking the question about what are some of the team challenges, and to hear some perspectives about people who have worked maybe in different fields and shared their perspectives. That itself was also very useful. Yeah.
How was it to ask questions, and how the open questions to drive deeper the discussion?
It was difficult. That's the difficult part. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, because people always go to solution, and that is difficult to hold back from what you know versus helping people to explore the topic themselves more. Yeah.
It's hard not to put it to the framework, like a certain framework that we know, that we've seen already in life. We've seen solution. We have this solution. No, it's not that easy to just take solution and
Good time to share what we heard and see if the person would have something to add. So who actively listened to Barbara would like to share what Barbara needs for this year, or what did she learn?
Sure, that was me. And she talked about wanting to learn about communication. So a session about the ways we connect, the ways we weave communication through our work would help her, because so much of this work is experiential, so trying it out. And and she's working within a context of also transferring classroom and other contexts back and forth. And so doing something experiential would help. Barbara, how to do?
Beautifully. And I want to say something about Matti, because we didn't really get to the point of talking about what he wants to learn, but I think he could teach us a lot about dealing with failure. And so I'm putting you on the spot, Matti, because maybe if they host a session about failure, it would be nice for you to attend, so you could tell us more about your experience with resilience and how it's taken you to where you are today in your professional life. It was just lovely listening to you, and thank you for your share.
I'd like to attend a session on failure. So if there is a notepad somewhere with things like that being scribbled down, yeah, I'd keep an eye out for that one.
Good to know.
Yeah,
let's add
yeah.
+1 here.
And maybe we can then invite Matti already, like Act Agile. Matti, would you like to join us to co-design and co-facilitate the session about failure?
And I have no trainer experience, but if you babysit me, we can try.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm bought to it.
Amazing. And Matti, would you like to share who were you actively listening to?
We did like 3, like we are 3 in the group, so we did it and actually I think both Barbara and Heather had quite similar situation, moving from teaching to facilitation. So there was quite many similarities, being not more part of an organization, but being on your own a bit, right? So it's a bit of being lost in the beginning and getting getting confidence of the thing you do.
Amazing. And who wrote down the headers? Would you like to share about that?
Heather was very kind and very mindful of time, so she spoke quickly about this topic. But she mentioned that when she's facilitating, she's in the zone, she knows what she's doing, she's comfortable. But then when she is in that little room where she is now, she's not so sure what to do with her time. Yes. And so maybe sessions on how to do, I don't exactly know how to navigate that as well. That's something I struggle. So planning your work day, that could maybe help her make better use of her downtime. That's an idea.
So the ability to facilitate hosting others, but then when it comes to ourselves, is that
how do we host ourselves? Exactly. And what are the rituals around that? That's something I'm definitely thinking about.
How can I coach myself, please? That's nice. That can be a good reflection. Thank you. So let's move to the other group. Who can share what they learned about acting?
That was actually Septashi, but he's just had to leave. So
Fabiana would like to take over and share what you heard, but what's Septashi download?
We most talk about how to keep people interested in what they were doing, because sometimes the project cannot be apparently so challenging at the beginning, or in people, they are not always engaged. So we need to try to keep them close and try to understand the importance of their work for keep themselves engaged. And it's maybe not that big, but is important to be done, and how he could, you know, improve this and motivate people to have them, you know, giving their best in this project, even that the project is small or the company is not that big. So this is, I think, is one of the challenge for him. Am I right, Akin? Akin, do you have like add something, or did I understood
No,
well?
nothing to add. No, that was that was understood very well.
Okay.
Great
So I think
topic.
it's basically this.
And then we have Fabienne.
So that
I
was
spoke
me.
with Akin.
Yeah, that was me. So there was a couple of I guess kind of like challenges, and so the one that I did scribble down was the idea of when I guess kind of like changes come in different forms. So sometimes it's like we might move within the organization and that will be in the same building. But in Fabienne's case, it's adjusting to a new location and culture. So having positive results in a different location, in a different culture, and then the challenge of building a new team from scratch, and seeing how to kind of build a diverse team and do so in a way that allows that team to harness the best of their skill set.
Amazing.
Perfect, thank you.
This can be a very good one as well. I think we have the brief for the next year session. So I love these.
Yeah.
Would you like to add something, Fabienne? Other than your name is Fabienne?
Yeah, call me Fabi. It's easier for everybody. You know, there is Fabiana, Fabienne, Fabienne. So Fabi is perfect. No, it's exactly what is my challenge. You know, I'm trying to build something from scratch, and there's incredible different points that needs to be considered to have a good team. So this is going to be my next challenge. It's a big one, but excited.
Amazing. And welcome to the Netherlands. Let's meet soon. And Saptarshi, who can share about what were his needs?
Actually, I listened to him, and then he has like a very interesting challenge because he has to coordinate different teams. So the teams are, I think it's a product or project manager. I don't know exactly, but it's like he has to connect design people with developers, with sales teams. So completely different teams. They think in different ways, and sometimes they cannot connect very well between them, but the objective is the same. You know, is one project for the company. And so the different things that he has to do, like he has to master in communication. So he can bring, you know, everything very detailed and clear to people who think in different ways to have like one goal. So he's trying to connect all this and trying to make this in a better way and motivate everybody and keep them apart in the meetings so they don't discuss or disagree in some occasions, but at the same time together going to the same place.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And it was great to listen from you. We have many insights, and I hope you also had the chance to reflect and learn on your own needs as well and each other's. I think we would like to celebrate and thank you so much for being with us here and for co-creating the lab. So this is the 14th session of the year, I believe. And yeah, you can navigate here a bit and see what we did this last sessions. And if you're up to, just like we had the screenshots from a few sessions here, if we could take one with you now and add here to this board. Would you be happy to do that? Let's make sure what's the Christmassy?
Okay, we need to do
Akin,
the
what's
hair,
the
makeup.
Christmassy face? 2022. Oh, Hailey wasn't looking again.
Okay, here I am.
We have it. It's on. And just to close, if you would please. So if you can all look at us here. Thank you so much. Give us a little piece of feedback. Tell us, what did you like? What did you wish? What if? Any suggestions that you have that might not have been shared in the active listening. So please, let's take a minute to share feedback with these people that are here with you. So we'll have a minute.
Yeah, this time for reflection and how to make time for reflection. This is always like, shall we run or shall we reflect? Re-strategize our actions and then run, no? It's like, yeah.
We have a good balance of group, individual, small, good prompts, lovely community. Welcome. Interesting team, great interaction. Looking back is a great reminder. I wish I set up even more time for reflection. Let's do that. I could get to know more of the attendees. Good point. And if you have any suggestion, please share. And last but not least, what's your #1 learning goal? If you would, from all the reflection here, what would be the keyword that we should look at, your learning goal for 2022? So we have managing upwards, how to improve and manage patience, public speaking, break cultural, I imagine, silos or something, barriers. And flexible identity.
Yeah,
amazing.
For cultural barriers and adaptation, I will just make a small follow-up. It's a topic that I personally love. I was moving from one country to another many times in my life. So if I can help anyhow, I'm super happy to connect and just share maybe some insights, tips and trips, or yeah, whatever might be helpful. If you find it helpful.
Nice. Thank you. Yeah, it is. I also moved for a couple of times. And every time is a new challenge. I like the challenge, so I don't stop moving, but it's always a challenge.
And our last invitation as a gift for you to give to your peers that you love, the peers that could be better team members, invite them to the lab. Hopefully with your insights, we will have many sessions next year. And here we have all the links to connect with us, to follow us on LinkedIn and stay in touch so we can grow together. Thank you so much. Thanks to Hailey, thanks to Mural.
Yeah,
Great
thank you
partner
guys
as
for
well.
having me.
Yes.
To meet everybody here in this community. It really is.
Yes. Let's
Now,
continue in
Adam
2022.
wants a
and-
song, no?
So thank you all.